Hello, people who have tuned in to the non-event fundraiser thing. It's the third time I've tried making video. The first time I just started rambling about all kinds of nonsense. The second time I accidentally turned it off. So I'm incompetent, I guess. And I'm going to try one more time. Anyway, this is the house I live in here. My great-grandparents built this house in 1909. And it's not in terribly good repair at the moment. I'm about to have to do some renovating on it. Back when the house was built, there was an old, see here, see kind of behind me there. Now there was a old logging road back down there that isn't here anymore. And people there used to be a few thousand people who lived in these planned coal mining communities. I'm walking over here to show you this mountain, Cub Mountain. If you ever see any reference to that in my songs, and I'm sure everybody who's watching this is deeply familiar with my catalog of work. If not, then you should be ashamed, and you should go listen to my music immediately and familiarize yourself with it. Or not. There's probably more worthwhile things to do with your time, to be honest. But anyway, here's this mountain back here. This is Cub Mountain here. And I'm pointing at with my weird long guitar playing fingernails there. But there used to be a few coal mining communities up there. Until the 30s. In the 1930s, there was a big dispute between the coal miners and the mining company, and that's the same kind of thing that happened all over the place in the South. This wasn't as big as at the Blair Mountain thing in West Virginia that happened a few, maybe 15 years or something before it happened on the mountain up here. But the miners up there unionized, started a chapter of whatever the National Coal Mining Union, whatever that was. And they started a chapter of it up there, and the head of the miners' union was assassinated pretty much by the company's security guards back in the 30s. And the coal mining companies used to try to control everything about everything they could about the miners. They would pay them in credit to a company store instead of giving them money that they could spend on whatever. And it was kind of a brutal profession. My great uncle was my grandma Helen. It was her brother that was killed when the coal mines collapsed on him. There was still a little bit of activity going on up there for a few decades, up until my dad was. He drove a coal truck a little bit down the mine there, but there wasn't a whole lot coming out of there after people started to really move out of those towns back in the 30s. But this is Overton County here. I can't remember whether I've said that or whether that was the last time before I accidentally turned my phone or my video off. But here in Overton County, Tennessee, this is where Lester Flatt was born, somewhere close by here. And I was born in Jamestown. If you go up over that mountain, you can go one direction, come out in Monterey, which is in Putnam County. You can go the other direction, come out in Fentress County, and that's where I grew up. And there's a well-known family of ballad singers from Fentress County, the Hicks family. If you search for D and Delta Hicks, or they call her Delty, D and Delty Hicks, they're from Fentress County. And we learned about them and learned some songs. They had a big repertoire of like traditional kind of ballad vocal songs. I remember studying some of that, or learning about it when I was in elementary school. In music class, our music teacher broke out a little auto harp and taught us some of that music. And of course, I grew up around a ton of bluegrass and gospel and country music, being from this part of the country. This is about halfway between Knoxville and Nashville. Well, my phone on my battery, or my battery on my phone's about to die here. And before I start to ramble too much or get get in my pickup truck and put my Oakleys on or something, start ranting about the liberals. Before I get to that point, I'm probably going to sign off here and go play, and get an instrument of some sort. I might have to do it inside because it's getting kind of cold out here now. I can see my breath a little bit. But anyway, I'm going to do that and I'll be right back. Alright, I'm going to play a song here. It's a new song called The Orchard. There can't be much harm in just one more cupful, and then I can fall asleep. My head will be heavy, no dreams will befall me, and I'll finally be at peace. No one could follow where I was going that night, out through the window, up through the trees to the moon, and such visions were waiting. There was a river made of gold, and an orchard just close enough to see. The trees were heavy with jewels, bowing their branches as if before a king. But that bank was far and the current was strong. The water was far too deep for me to wade. But a ferryman came and the current he stilled and gave me his hand to take, and said, where we are going, there will be roses made of wine and nightingales singing. I saw that this kingdom was nothing as it had seemed. The orchard was barren, the trees were all swaying in sorrow, awaiting their king. And when he arrived, burning coals in his eyes, and a breath that was cold as easterly wind, on a white horse he rode over fire and snow, calling out to me. Falling back through the trees, the moonlight shrinking before the sun, the cup upturned by my side, drained of its potion, awaits my return. And sometimes I still see swaying trees, and the east wind brings the voice of the king. Warming myself by the fire, I prepare for what tonight might bring. thank you. I don't know who I'm thanking here. I'm used to performing in front of people, and I'm thanking nobody at all. Or the prospective audience, I guess. And I hope everybody's doing well out there. I miss being in Boston. Well, I guess that's about it for me.